Alright guys, this is my first time doing this. This is my very first YouTube video. I just want to talk about this because I haven't seen anybody else talk about it. And and I've been seeing a lot of people saying the same thing and they're completely wrong about this. So I went and did some research in the best of my ability and came up this video for y'all. Now this video is a realistic is a real it's a realistic point of not point of view but realistic list of games that I believe that'll be on PlayStation, on the PlayStation Classic Edition, because I see a lot of people saying, oh well, these are the games that's I like to see on the PlayStation Classic Edition. I don't want to see the games that you'll like to see, because the games you'll like to see most likely won't make it. Like me personally, I like to see Omega Boost on the PlayStation Classic Edition. But that's not really a popular game. It's just a game I had when I was a kid, and I like it for nostalgia reasons. But I don't think it's a lot of people out there that like Omega Boost. You probably don't even know what Omega Boost is. But a lot of people, they come from their personal taste, and when they say, oh, these are games I like to see on there, it's really personally games they like to see on there. But I think this will help people. These will help people more that just like can't wait for Sony to announce the 15 other games, because 20 games that's going to be on the PlayStation Classic Edition, and they announced 5, so they got 15 more to announce. And like me, I can't wait to see what the other 15 games are. So this video is for y'all. I'm trying to give y'all a realistic list of games that would most likely be on the PlayStation Classic Edition, and not just my personal preference or anything. So what I did was I went on Wikipedia, which I know is not most accurate, but that's all I have to work with. I went on Wikipedia and wrote down 37 of the most sold PlayStation 1 games. Like, I searched most sold PlayStation 1 games, and there was a whole bunch of games on there. And I wrote down 20 at first, and I noticed a lot of them were sequels, and I don't want to include a bunch of sequels in the list because I don't think Sony's going to have Crash Bandicoot 1, 2, and 3 on their system, you know, because that's going to take up a lot of slots. It's only 20 games, so I don't think they're going to waste on sequels, you know. So I scratched out all the sequels or whatever, and then I took out some weird games, because like WWF sold 2.2 million, so it made the list. And Harry Potter sold 3 million copies, so it also made the list. But we'll be pissed if Sony put those games on there, and then they're like licensed games, so Sony's not even gonna go through the trouble of putting them on that system. Um, but here are the 15 games, you know. And also Tekken 3 and Final Fantasy 7. And yeah, Tekken 3 and Final Fantasy 7 made the list of the top 10 most sold PlayStation games. But I'm not including them because they already been announced in the first 5, which is Ridge Racer Type 4, Tekken 3, Final Fantasy 7, Wild Arms, and Jumping Flash. Those 5 games they announced. So here's our 15 games out of the most sold PlayStation game. No, the most copies sold of the PlayStation game, whatever. All right. Number 1 is Gran Turismo at 10.8 million copies. All right, but Gran Turismo 2 is at 3rd place after Final Fantasy 7 with 9.97. I believe they're going to include Gran Turismo 2 because Gran Turismo 2 is renowned to fans as the better Gran Turismo. You know, it's the sequel, so of course it's better. Gran Turismo 2 It's it's what I believe is probably gonna be one of Gran Turismo 1 and 2 is probably gonna be the first one on there. Metal Gear Solid is number 7 with 6.06 million copies, and then Tomb Raider 4 at 5 million copies. You got to put Tomb Raider on there because I feel like some of these games, just like you seeing in this picture in the background, I feel like some of these games is the image of PlayStation. You don't have PlayStation if you don't have Lara Croft, Twisted Metal, um, Metal Gear Solid. Like a lot of y'all might want to see some RPGs Legend of Dragoon and stuff. But when you think PlayStation, these are the games you see. You know, you see Crash Bandicoot. If you don't have these games on the system, they failed completely. No matter how bad these games have aged, like Tomb Raider might have aged bad, but no matter what, it's still the face of PlayStation because that's how big it was at the time. And Tomb Raider is actually one. All 4 Tomb Raider games made like the top. Let me see. Made the top 20. The top 20 sold PlayStation games. 4 of those 20 most sold PlayStation games were Tomb Raider games. So it speaks right there. Even when they even age well, you have to include Tomb Raider default. All right, so we have Gran Turismo 2, Crash Bandicoot 3 at number 5 for most sold PlayStation games. Resident Evil for number 12 at 4.9. Spyro 2, number 20, in the 20th place, 3.4. And Pro Skater, 26th place, 3.15, 3.1 actually. And Parappa the Rapper, 27th, 3 million. And 35th, CTR or Crash Team Racing, 2.2 million. And these are some games that then makes the most sold PlayStation games, but at the same time, I feel like they have to be included, or it'll be like an uprise, and fans will have pitchforks or whatever. Because so we have Symphony of the Night. I guess Symphony of the Night didn't at least sell 1 million because on Wikipedia, all these games at least sold 1 million games. So I guess Symphony of the Night didn't sell well, even when it's highly renowned by fans or whatever. So I include Symphony of the Night, Mega Man, Twisted Metal. It can be either one. I don't care. They just have to put Twisted Metal on there. Street Fighter Alpha 3, because I feel like one fighting game, like Tekken is good and all, but you want to have more than one, just one fighting game. And Silent Hill, because it's amazing. So here's my list from the top. We have Gran Turismo, Crash Bandicoot, Metal Gear Solid, Tomb Raider, 4. Well, we have Gran Turismo 2, Crash Bandicoot 3, Metal Gear Solid, Tomb Raider 4, or Tomb Raider The Last Revelation, Resident Evil 2, Spyro 2, Pro Skater 2, Parappa the Rapper, CTR, Crash Team Racing, Symphony of the Night, Castlevania, Mega Man. It could be Mega Man 4, it could Mega Man X4, or Mega Man Legends. I prefer Mega Man Legends. I believe that'll be the better decision. I think that'll sell more systems. You should put Mega Man Legends on there. Mega Man Legends. So we are 11. Twisted Metal, Street Fighter Alpha 3, Silent Hill, and we have like one more game. I would say Ape Escape, but dang, I'm missing a game. Probably, because we can't put Ape Escape on there. Probably Medieval. I mean, I know it's not a fan favorite, but it's a Nintendo owned game. This is another thing I want to mention. Getting all these licensed games is going to be a hard problem for for Sega. I mean, not Sega, Sony to do, because they got to go to all these original developers, find out who currently own the franchise, who currently own the licensing and everything, and talk with them and get their approval. And that takes a lot of time and work. So, I, you know, to be honest with ourselves, realistically, a lot of these games that we might really want on here might not make it just because of licensing problems and stuff. I know Sony has got friendly with developers and stuff, but it's just it's what it is. So are like the top first party Sony games that more than likely is going to be on there if we want it to be or not, and that is um, Gran Turismo, Crash Bandicoot, Parappa the Rapper, um, Persona 2, Medieval, Hot Shots Golf, Art Ace Combat, Jet Moto, Cool Borders, Warhawks, Wipeout, Legend of Dragoon, Ape Escape, and Symphony Filter. We're more than likely gonna see those games because those games that Sony own all the rights to, and they're like I said, more than likely gonna make the list of games and stuff like that. I just want to add this. Um, also want to add that I also went to Metacritic and checked these games to make sure their scores was like above 80. If any of these games scores, no matter how good the game was, if it was below 80, I didn't want to include it on my list. I know it might be some bad games on the system because of nostalgia reasons. Like I said, like Tomb Raider might not hold up in today, but the nostalgia of Tomb Raider is so strong, she has to be on there. Like I know it has some more games like that just have to be on there or whatever. But everybody talking about the PlayStation Classic Edition is too high at $100. The PlayStation Classic Edition is not too high. I want everybody to get that out of their mind. $100 is not too much for the PlayStation Classic Edition. Okay, for the NES Classic Edition, you spent $60 and you got 30 games and one controller, right? Right. All right. The Super NES Classic Edition, you got 21 games and two controllers. And this was $80, right? Right. Okay. How much do you think Nintendo's gonna sell the Nintendo 64 Classic Edition? Do you think they're gonna sell it for $80? Surely not. It's probably gonna be $100, most likely $100, but they can throw us for a loop and maybe sell it for like 120 if you want two controllers. I don't know exactly how they're gonna go about this, but more likely it's gonna be $100, even when Nintendo 64 games not even considered, like it's not even like officially considered as classics because some of the 3D rendered games were kind of rough on the edges and stuff, but um it's newer hardware. No, regardless, it's newer hardware, and it's gonna cost more. If you go on the eShop and try to buy a NES game, it's gonna be $3.99, and you try to buy a Super NES game, it's gonna be $6. And you try to buy a 64 Nintendo 64 game, it's gonna be $10 or whatever. It's gonna be more, just because it's newer hardware and it's more megabytes, more gigabytes. More megabytes. None of them had gigabytes back then, but more megabytes, and that's what you're paying for. So these PlayStation games, these are bigger games than any Super NES games. So you can't be like, oh well, the Super NES was $80 and now this is $100 and all that. No, just BS. This is a good price. Y'all should be happy. Y'all have two controllers and 20 games. Yes, I do wish it was more games, but you have 2 controllers and you have 20 games. And yes, I wish it's DualShock, but if you got 2 DualShocks and no 2 DualShocks in that box, that'd be a super steal. And I understand why they didn't include the DualShock because it wasn't even originally sold with the PlayStation in the first place. Like I know it really, made PlayStation popular, but like originally it wasn't even included, and it's just more expensive, and they need to make a profit on this thing at the end of the day. And I really wish they would include the DualShock because that would have helped put Ape Escape on the list. I really feel like Ape Escape deserved to be on the list, but um, a lot of these games, was before DualShock, and you know, don't even support it. So I completely understand. Um, they probably need to sell the DualShock outside of the outside, just like Nintendo sold extra controllers. They need to sell the DualShock for like $15 or something, $10, $20. I don't know. What else I want to say? I believe that's about it. I just can't wait to see what else they're gonna announce, and I'll be all over it soon it comes out. I'll buy it, and I'm really looking forward to playing this or whatever. I just kind of want to come out with this video because I see a lot of people putting their own opinions of what they think is going to be on the system, and they be like naming a bunch of obscure one-off games. Like one of my favorite PlayStation 1 games is Klonoa. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to lie to myself. Klonoa wasn't a really popular game. Like, it kind of, it did not meet sale expectations, so it didn't rock the world, and it didn't like sell PlayStation consoles. So I'm not even gonna lie to myself. Now if Klonoa's on there, awesome, but if it's not, cool, because realistically I didn't expect to be on there. But sometimes these people seem like they be lying to themselves, like, oh yeah, they're gonna put this very rare obscure PlayStation game on here and blah blah blah. Like, no, I mean, you can tell yourself that, but okay, whatever. But I hope y'all guys enjoyed. This is my very first opinion video. This is my very first YouTube video. I hope you guys enjoy. If y'all really like it, and I get a lot of views, I'll start trying to do this more. Whatever. Well, it's getting late, and I have to go to work in the morning. So see y'all later.